Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dr. Muhammad Ali Said, the Minister of Islamic Affairs, Dr. Muhammad Ali, Dr. Shah Muniza, my colleagues from IRTI, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, this morning we are here today from Jeddah to share with you some of the works that we have done based on the request of Ministry of Islamic Affairs on the development of legal development of zakat law in Maldives. Before I go on to talk a bit about our work, let me just share with you about our organization, Islamic Development Bank, as well as IRTI. My colleagues will be talking in great detail about the work that we do and a bit about also about Islamic Development Bank. You know, Islamic Development Bank is like another development bank, which is like the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, except that we are unique. We are unique because our members come from 56 countries, but across different continents. If you look at Asian Development Bank, these countries come from Asia only. They will not cover, say, countries from Africa. But Islamic Development Bank, we have countries from Africa, we have countries from Asia, we have a country in Europe, and we have a country in South America. So we span the whole globe. But what is common is that the word Islam there, Islamic Development Bank, the word Islam, which means that our forte, or what we call our raison d'etre, is financing through Islamic finance. All our activities are through Islamic finance. We were established in 1975, the same year as Dubai Islamic Bank. If you have been involved in Islamic banking, you will know that Dubai Islamic Bank was established in 1975. We were also established in 1975. It started with 22 member countries, and we are now 56 member countries. So what we have been doing is we have been providing financing, infrastructure projects in member countries. We have been providing support in the context of health, education, polio eradication, support for humanitarian. For example, when Aceh, and to a certain extent, of course, Maldives was also affected, but Aceh was the most affected. So we had a number of activities in Aceh to help these people who were affected by tsunami. And we have also been covering many other countries, including Haiti in South America, where they experienced, if you recall, earthquake. So we have been involved in many countries. So the financing that we do is on the context of Islamic finance. And at the same time, what we also do is we also help in the context of capacity building and knowledge development. For example, under IDB, we have 4 other subsidiary companies, what we call entities. And IRTI, the Islamic Research and Training Institute, where I am heading and where my colleagues are from, we provide research, we provide technical assistance through advisory work to help develop Islamic finance space. We call it Islamic finance space because, as you know, Islamic economics and Islamic finance are very important now to the Muslim world. If you talk maybe 10 years ago, Islamic finance is only confined to the Muslim world. But now, Islamic finance has become a global word. If you look, the word sukuk now is being accepted. Before you may think, what does sukuk means? But in many countries now, even in the Western world, they understand sukuk. So much so that UK government last June, issued sukuk, and Islamic instruments to raise funds for certain projects. So UK government has issued, Luxembourg government. We are also now talking to Korean government to issue sukuk, which means that Korean government is interested to issue sukuk and seeks the assistance of Islamic Development Bank group to support the issuance of sukuk. So what we do, particularly in the context of ERT, is to provide that knowledge and the technical assistance in how to go about issuing sukuk. Another interesting development, apart from Islamic banking, where we are familiar, sukuk, takaful, we have takaful here in Maldives. Another word which has now become common is what we call the word halal. Let me share with you my real experience. I went to one Arab country. I do not want to mention the name of the country. When an Arab country, 100% Muslim country, and we talk about halal industry. They ask me, what is halal industry? And you will be surprised because being a Muslim country, they should know what is halal industry, halal business mean. They don't understand what is halal industry. I'm not talking about people in the private sector, I'm talking about senior government officials. Senior government officials. But now, if you read 2 years back, Time magazine has came out with two-page article on the global halal industry. So now the word is no longer used halal, but we call it global Islamic economy, which means that Islamic economy, not Islamic economics, but Islamic economy means we're talking about Islamic banking, Islamic finance, takaful, lifestyle, food, pharmaceutical, and many other components of the whole Islamic economy for Muslims. And the size of the industry is even bigger than what we call for Islamic finance. Islamic finance, the size of industry is now estimated to be $1.8 trillion. The size of the global Islamic economy is more than $5 trillion US dollars. So the growth rate is very impressive. So much so that now we have World Bank are working on Islamic finance. IMF is also working on Islamic finance. And I am involved in both organizations, World Bank as IMF, because we collaborate on a number of projects to help not only IDB member countries, but also non-member countries to develop Islamic finance. To give you an example, Tanzania is not a member country of IDB, but they have a quite significant Muslim population. You know, they used to be under, especially this Tanzania island, Zanzibar island used to be part of the Oman Empire before. So they want to implement Islamic finance, but because they are not a member of IDB, they went through World Bank, and World Bank brought us to develop the Islamic finance infrastructure. And we have many other countries, Djibouti and so on. So many countries are talking about Islamic finance, Islamic banking, yet one of the key components that many have forgotten is the issue of zakat and awqaf. And in this regard, let me congratulate Mr. Dr. Mohamed and also the members from the Islamic Ministry, Islamic Affairs Ministry, and the government of Maldives for having the foresight to what we call to fully develop the zakat system, to systematize the zakat system. Because zakat system in many countries, although it is being implemented, but it is not systematized properly, it's not administered properly. We do have Muslims paying zakat, but the question is, to be effective as a tool for, as being mentioned earlier on, as a tool for poverty eradication, it must be done properly. I mean, we can pay individually. I mean, if you ask all Muslims, they pay zakat fitr, and they pay also zakat on their wealth. But if it is not done systematically, there will be no impact to poverty eradication. So having done in a systematic manner, organized manner, in terms of collection, in terms of calculation, in terms of management, in terms of distribution, will have a great impact on poverty eradication. And unlike other taxes, zakat is specific, as we know, it's been mentioned by Dr. Muhammad Shahim earlier on about the 8 asnaf, the 8 categories. So these are specific expenditures targeted to eradicate poverty. So having the foresightedness, having the plan to really develop zakat system in Maldives is, to me, one of the great ideas and great proposal to really make Islam as one of the cornerstone on the foundation of this country. And it is important to see that many other countries are now also trying to systematize to make it a formal organization in the collection, management, and distribution of zakat. So the work that we did was we benchmarked with about 10 countries looking at their laws, and then based on that we look at the proposed law and again propose the amendments. So today we have the workshop today is to get additional input from you in order to improve it further. Let me just share with you that if we can get a very good model like this, model law, don't think about Maldives, think about the implication to other Muslim countries. A good law would then be copied by other Muslim countries. And this is what we are doing. For example, we have developed a model Waqf law, Awqaf law, regulation and guidelines for member countries. Based on our work, a number of countries have started to adopt. The most recent one was Senegal. And we translated the law from English, from originally the work was in Arabic, to English and to French. Similarly, this law, after we have this workshop today, then we can use this law again to inform other member countries that yes, we have this law, it has been done through a lot of consultation, benchmarking, and it can then be copied by other member countries. Is it copyright or not? Okay. So the good thing is that, Maldives has contributed something to the Muslim world. We can then talk to other members, members of the IDB countries that, look, we have this good example, and it can be then copied, provided it's not copyright, by member countries. So in this way, we not only share knowledge, but we also sharing the good practices of Islamic economics and finance to the Ummah. And this is very important, because we need to really manage our resources well, our economic, our religious institution very well, in a professional manner, in a transparent manner, so that we can be good examples. So I laud and really support the work done by Dr. Muhammad Shahim, the Ministry of Islamic Affairs, the good able men and women in the ministry, and plus all of you here, brothers and sisters, who have spent your time willing to contribute and give input. I think this is important work. As I always tell my colleagues in IRTI, that we are not working only for one country, we are working for the Muslim world. We are not working for 56 countries, but we are working for the rest of the Muslim world. Because IRTI and IDB, we also focus on Muslim communities in non-member countries, Muslim communities. We have done workshops on Awqaf, for example, recently in December, in Paris, France, and in Switzerland. So we go to many countries. Again, the agenda is to promote Islamic economics, Islamic finance. Zakat, Awqaf, Qard Hasan, Ijara, and many other things are part of the Islamic economy. So it's important for us to focus on the Islamic economy aspect. In this way, we'll be able to raise up the economic situation of Muslims and use our tools such as zakat, waqf, in order to alleviate the poverty among the Muslims. So again, thank you very much. Thank you everybody and for your support, and we hope that our contribution will make a significant difference to this law. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.